Hey, folks! Yes, I have shaved. I didn't shave, I just buzzed it all off. But anyway, my point this week is that we kind of had a crazy weekend at the Fanning household. We had strep throat hit hard, and we're talking some pretty crazy fevers at our place. Now, the whole point of what I'm trying to say is that we had one sick kid, and then we had a lot of little kids that wanted to pretend that they were sick because they saw how much attention and how many bonuses that the sick kid was getting. And what I mean by that is just being able to watch TV, just getting things like Gatorade or what they thought was juice, which was really Pedialyte, which is at the same time, getting all this attention, getting to cuddle, getting to just kind of enjoy the extra effort from mom and dad. And I have a couple points from this. The first point being is that kids, man, I so respect the fact that these little kids really stand up for what they want. And to the point where they're not shy about it. Now, sometimes for adults, we can see this being they're kind of rude about it. And they just haven't learned those social norms. But my whole point in saying this is that as adults, we've learned to turn this off. And it's actually sad because we're not willing to stick up for what we want. Case being is this is my 7-year-old was very jealous of her brother and saying like, oh, I want to be able to sleep, snuggle with you guys. I want to be able to have this. And why are you spending all this time with Deegan? And why not you doing this to us? And I was like, well, they're sick. They're not feeling the greatest. And we're trying to, help them get recovered. And it just, something wasn't really clicking in there. But the whole point of being is like, holy moly, she's at least telling me what she wants. What a gift, first of all. And what's the lesson that I can gain from this is that one, kids, they don't have that filter, but we've lost that as adults that we feel bad about telling our spouse like, will you snuggle with me in bed just for 5 more minutes? Or can you please just put the phone down and talk to me? Or telling your boss of like, I'm just not feeling like I'm getting paid enough. We have somehow turned this off and we bottle it up and it'll build. Hey, Stephanie. It'll build until all of a sudden it comes down to divorce, or I'm going to cheat on this person because I'm not getting my needs met, or I'm going to quit this effing job because I'm so sick of these people not appreciating me because they won't fix this dang printer and I'm going nuts. Okay? Instead of just really saying like, well, why can't I express my needs? And yeah, some of them, obviously, we have to be realistic in saying that they can't be doing, but at the same time, what if we borrow that courage, that blind courage from our kids and just ask for what we want. Okay, so that's lesson number 1. Lesson number 2 is there are people in our lives that didn't hear this lesson. And so they have no idea how to stand up for the things that they want. And so I'm challenging you to be a little bit more proactive about this, okay? Now, if you want to hear more about this point that I'm giving, I did a whole podcast on it, and if you haven't checked out, I have the Super Parent podcast. But my point is this. Make a list of the most important people in your life, from, of course, spouse, kids, your coworkers, your immediate family member, the people you absolutely love. And then besides their name, I want you to categorize them in 3 different ways, maybe 4. Daily. So no matter how crappy your day is, you can check in on them once a day. Text, note, hug, whatever it is. Weekly. And what I mean is minimum week. So like let's say it's your parents and you like to call your mom twice a week or 3 times a week and that's your thing. Then you put them as a weekly thing. So no matter what, you'll at least have once a week. You can obviously overdo it, but if everything hits the fan and life is terrible, thank you, Stephanie. I'm glad you listened. You have at least that once a week, okay? And then, of course, the monthly. Now, if you have people you're like, well, once a month isn't that much, and I can see them every 3 months or every 6 months and we'll be just fine. Take them off your list. Don't even worry about it because those people will kind of take care of themselves, okay? But if you have, like, your great aunt Petunia, and you just want to check in with her once a month because you feel obligated to, that's actually probably a good example. And then what I challenge you there is to use some technology, use your to-do list, and then what I use is toodledoo.com because it has a phone app and also on my computer. And I just say repeat once a week or repeat every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, or repeat once a month. And that tells me how often I should check in with these folks. Now, I don't mean to sound cold-hearted, but life happens. Can you imagine? I own a business. I have 4 kids. I have a spouse who's running her own business. And it gets a little chaotic. And it's easy just to check off because, maybe I was in the mindset of reaching out to the people I love, like best friends or college friends or whatever it is. It's not heartless to say, like, I'm so sorry, you're not a to-do list item. It's just making sure that I really do invest in the level that I want. Okay, so folks, that is my whole point. This episode for this podcast, where I expand onto it, is coming up. But again, if you haven't checked it out, please do. Otherwise, please share this video if you know somebody that could use to hear it. But 2 things again. 1, stand up for what you want, just like a little kid would. Okay, if you're not getting hugged enough, whatever it might be. Okay, if you want that snack, I don't know. And then 2, make sure you proactively find out what you can do to fulfill for others people's needs too. Okay, I have some great resources that will be on this podcast, including like the 5 love languages and things like that. But folks, thanks for joining me. Have a wonderful day.